How do you open this door? There we go. It doesn't look like much, but that would probably be a really expensive door to replace if we broke it. But one absolutely beautiful day. As you can see, we are no longer in Redditch, we are no longer in the UK. We're actually in one of my favorite cities in the entire world. We are in Madrid. Been here now for the past 2 days. Haven't vlogged anything, haven't really taken many pictures at all. This is actually mine and Geordie's proper first, I guess, holiday since prep. Geordie started prep in December, so since then, obviously we were in Dubai for about 3 months while she was on prep, but considering it was kind of hard to go on dates and enjoy things as a couple. And then obviously at the beginning of February, I started prep, and then that was our entire life for pretty much the first 6 months of this year. So this is our first trip since all that happened, and we've been off prep now for about 3 weeks, and we've been having an absolutely beautiful time while being here. This is the street that we are staying on. This is literally located in the center of the city of Madrid, so we're in the perfect location. As you can see, all the buildings are absolutely gorgeous. I will do a tour of like around the area and stuff and the Airbnb, not in this video but the next video. Only reason being is because in this video I want to cover a topic that I've been wanting to cover now since show day, and it's something that actually happened on the last show day in Ukraine that I would never have expected to ever happen in my entire life, let alone at a show day, let alone at the event you've literally been dieting for the past 20 weeks. And with all the work put into that single moment and a single day, the exact moment that you step on stage, the most unfortunate series of events starts to unravel. I thought in that very moment that the whole show would have been cancelled. There wouldn't have been any point in flying to Ukraine, bringing Callum, bringing Zane. Obviously Geordie was competing as well, so it was a detrimental like circumstance for us both. Today I'm actually gonna be breaking that down. But I literally just woke up. I'm sipping on a Monster to start the day. Geordie's actually still asleep. It would be very rude of me to open this piano and just start. And for the finale. Little hack on how to make anything on the piano sound a little bit better, especially if you have absolutely zero skill level like me. Just switch it to strings and you'll see what I mean. Because usually there's a little button down here right there that says strings. Dramatic. That's enough of that. She's definitely gonna hate me. Brandon, we didn't subscribe to a music channel. We don't want to see you play piano. We don't want to see you absolutely abuse this Yamaha piano. I'm fully aware of this, but I do like the fact that I guess this like YouTube channel has been built off kind of like what is like around my life, whether it be bodybuilding, whether it be competing, cooking recipes in the kitchen, all that kind of thing. I love the fact that pretty much everyone that subscribes to my channel has like just subscribed to my life. So whether it be me playing the piano or talking about art or drawing, painting, expressing myself in any way, you guys have always been super supportive towards me, especially with the announcement of my new partnership with My Protein. The amount of people that have already used code HARDBODY at the checkout to save 37% with My Protein. By the way, this is a global code, like it's My Protein US, UK, anywhere in Europe, basically the whole of the world. I think there was a bit of an issue with Russia, like it wasn't working in Russia for some reason. But I want to say a massive thank you for anyone that has used my code at the My Protein store. Ever since the announcement, it's been like an incredible experience, and to see you guys happy about me joining My Protein as an athlete is a really, really cool feeling. Every time I pick up the camera and vlog now, because obviously I have transitioned and changed so much since prep. I've recorded so many videos on prep, and obviously I was used to seeing my face and my body looking a certain way, and now every single day my body transitions more into its like natural self, its homeostasis. And as you can see, the off-season beard has, you know, really sprouted and gone into full effect. I'm actually thinking about growing like somewhat of like an off-season beard. I've never really allowed my facial hair to grow further like past this point. This is pretty much like the longest I ever allow it to go, and it's literally taken 3 weeks to get here. I could actually have like somewhat of a beard, and I feel like to like hide the off-season cheeks. I'm feeling kind of bloated today just because like since being in Madrid for the past 2 days, Madrid cuisine surrounded by nothing but cheese, bread, tapas, and considering this is mine and Geordie's first holiday together in quite a while, we've just been letting loose. I haven't actually been to the gym as well in the past 2 days, which is very unlike me because ever since prep, every single day, other than like the odd rest day that I take, I've been optimizing every single second of this growing phase. days post-show. Taking the past 2 days off and just exploring a little bit, just like walking around and enjoying some sun has been a very nice break. We are actually gonna go to the gym today, which will be our first session in Madrid. But of course, it is kind of weird, like seeing myself in the camera. It's kind of like hard not to like notice the negative part of the transition. Not having as much of a chiseled jaw and not being as like necessarily confident. This is me, and I have to just appreciate that and know that I can't be spending this entire year with sucked in cheeks, bone dry, shredded, which of course is something that has completely faded away at this point. But on the positive side, it does mean that my body is in its optimal position right now to build new tissue, being in a surplus and growing over this off season, which is exactly what we have set out to do. So next time we do step on stage, we are undeniable and we are that much more worthy for a pro card. So now I'm going to break down everything that happened on the last show day. I do want to be quite sensitive to this topic. Obviously on the show day footage, all the footage that you're going to see, the sensitive side around this topic is like completely gone because everyone's endorphins are so high. There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of worry. You know when you're just like worried about something, or you kind of feel awkward and you don't really know how to act about a situation that is actually quite bad and you should be very sensitive towards it, but as a coping mechanism you just like laugh it off. That's kind of the mentality that everyone had in this video, like all the competitors, all the judges, everyone that had to exit the actual event, because I'm not going to say the word just because this video may be taken down if I say the word constantly. On show day, after I stepped off stage, there was a B-O-M-B scare. An actual proper terror, yeah, like a proper threat. Anytime there's like a weird silence, that's the word that's being said. On the day of show day, everything from the morning until the stepping on stage was absolutely incredible. The show itself was ran wonderfully, from collecting the badges the previous day and checking into the show, getting the weight done, getting the height done to make sure you fit into the classic class that you have entered in, like class A, B, C. But of course I was in class C, which was the tallest guys. So the fact that I got second against guys that were like 5 years older than me in my first ever pro qualifier, I was honestly over the moon about that. And now looking back on the whole show, the fact that I did get second was literally everything that I needed to propel this off season. Because if I just walked into the show and got a pro card and just won, how would I be spending the next year of this off season? There wouldn't be that sense of like aggression and that need to improve. The second place placement that I actually achieved at this show was everything I needed, because now not only do I know what I have to look like compared to these guys to be undeniable, but also it was giving me like a fire in me that I never would have gotten if I just like won. All this sort of stuff, it was all ran beautifully well. So obviously here's me thinking like everything is going so perfect. The tan is amazing. I'm super happy with the condition. I've never looked this good in my entire life. The condition, we peaked so perfectly. I was a little bit more flatter than I would have liked, but I feel like at that point, after dieting for 20 weeks, it was the best I could have been. When what happened, we were just like, oh my God, like this just had to happen. Like karma has a funny way of being like, oh, life is going amazing right now. Here's a curveball. Here's an absolute shit situation where everyone has to literally leave the event. Like, I'm not being funny. My class went on. We was halfway through the show. I think it was about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the day. Different classes had already been on and showcased their physiques, competed, got their placings. They brought us onto the stage. We did our comparisons. I was lucky enough to get first call out.
Yes, Brandon! Yes!
Thank you.
They compared first call outs, and then we stepped off stage, then waiting for the other classes to do their routines, and they were about to call on the top 5 for class C. And this is when things started to go severely wrong. Security ran through the event. Everyone is rushing out, exiting, not even necessarily in like an orderly fashion. Like people were literally dipping and leaving the event. And we were just like, what is going on? Like, what's the urgency? Why does everyone have to leave? I thought it was something to do with like the pandemic. I thought there was like a health and safety breach. When they said that there was a B-O-M-B scare and there was like an actual like threat of attack, we were just like, are you serious? Like, what the hell?
No one really knows what's happening. Everyone's been asked to evacuate the building. We literally just got off stage, got first call out, really happy with the condition. We stepped off stage, waiting to do the routine, and everyone is like being rushed to leave the building. So we have no idea what's going on. What did you say?
Threat.
Okay, so there's a bomb threat. It's because they saw the shreds and they were like, yo, we gotta fucking bomb this building.
This guy's the bomb.
This guy's the... I'm not saying that. Maybe see what happens, then come back and like whenever.
People are literally there in their posing trunks. People that haven't got clothing prepared. Everyone's kind of just like gathering together and trying to like, you know, get information and find out if we're actually going to be able to be let back in the venue.
We've been outside for a little bit and we were expecting to go back in like 15-20 minutes, but they're actually moving us back further. I don't know what to think of all this. It's a bit shit, innit? If anyone's wondering if I'm feeling like any sort of like disappointment or just like annoyance, I'm high in endorphins. The fact that we were able to actually like step on stage, get first call outs and potentially get a top 2 placing based on what Callum said, based on what the audience said and based on what some of the judges said, I'm super happy. So like I'm running off the high of that. I mean, look, we have a car park full of really pissed people. Like, there are literally hundreds of people. But it's all good because you know what? We're gonna go back in, we're gonna show the shit, we're gonna do our routine, and then we got sushi later. Whatever happens, happens. I just hope we don't get blown up. That would be worst case, because I wanted a fucking dynamite roll, not a dynamite stick at my ass.
I've never been to a show with a girl before.
Currently waiting to go back in so that Brandon can kick ass and blow everyone out of the water. And
Not literally. I'm not the one. That is not me. I'm not.
Jeez, timing.
I know, right?
We're gonna blow it out of the water.
so sorry. Never thought that this would be a thing.
At this point, I don't know what I'm more. I was gonna say bummed about. I can't stop myself. At this point, I don't know what I'm more disappointed about. The fact that I have to wait to do my routine because I've been making sure it's nice. Wait to find out the verdict, or the fact that my me inhaling cinnamon swirls is also being delayed. I need salt and water, my jaw's cramping. It's like actually hard to talk. I'm still trying to get shredded. I'm still trying to look good on stage, mate.
That's not gonna change.
I can't drink anything. We may have been the leanest on stage. Hashtag Greg, hashtag too lean. It may have got us to second place because there were some big boys. Big, girthy boys.
You're a girthy boy.
I'm not girthy enough though, sadly.
No, not enough.
Well, we don't know yet. We say all this about second. I could get 4th or 1st. We don't know. We're speaking too soon. Just do the shit routine.
It's not shit. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's not shit.
You haven't seen it?
What do you mean it's
routine.
That's
Last
not routine.
weekend.
I was like going
The routine?
screaming, like, go Brandon!
Last weekend.
I messed it up last week.
You still
fine.
won though.
Today,
Like,
you're gonna
how back
bring,
in the bin, you
I
still
know.
won.
Very quickly, we realised that it wasn't as serious as we initially thought, because when people say like there's an attack, especially in a country that you've never been to before and you have no idea like what life is like there. If this happened in the UK, by the way, if there was an actual threat, the show would have been called off. This would have never happened. So massive respect to the organisers and just like the police force in Ukraine, because they like shut that shit down real quick, got everyone out, made sure the place was safe, and then let us all back in to continue on the show. We were outside a little bit longer than we would have hoped, because at this point, not eaten a single bite to eat, and I had literally been awake since 7:30 in the morning. When I compete, I like to compete on my fasted look. You know, I want to bring like the most classic physique possible to stage. So typically, if your waist is the smallest it can be, your shoulders will look bigger, your back will look wider, your lats will pop out more, and also my vacuum pose will be absolutely the most insane it can be, considering there was literally nothing in my stomach. I didn't want to eat anything because I still had to go on and do my routine, and I thought based on my placing, I was center stage and then moved just to 1 placing on the outside. So I kind of knew and I was hopeful that I would at least be top 3. And I thought like if I'm 3rd, if I pose well and I have a good routine and I maintain condition, I could get 2nd, if not 1st. So in my mind, I was like, I don't want to eat anything, but Callum was like, you need to eat something, otherwise like you're just going to be flat. Because the diuretic that I took on the nighttime and in the morning, I took a quarter of a Diazide on the nighttime and another quarter in the morning. I was of course like drying out more and more and more as the day went on, meaning I was becoming more flat, especially having not drunk much water at all and eaten any food. Callum was like, dude, just eat some rice cakes. So I actually had 4 rice cakes while being outside, and it obviously didn't touch the sides. Those shitty plain rice cakes had never tasted so good.
Considering we're still fasted and it's literally 3 o'clock now, I'm having a couple of rice cakes just to get by, because I've done the comparisons now. All that I have left to do is the routine. Based on the guy that was next to me in first call outs, he's about 10 years older than me, literally has about 15 pounds more muscle, but condition wise, I think we had him, or like Callum seems to think we had him, but in terms of like overall mass and size and experience, he may have taken it, so potentially 2nd, which means we won't get to go to the overall to get a pro card. But in terms of like happy with the package, I'm like overly happy with what we brought to this stage, and like I'm just glad that like we got to at least do what we did and get first call outs, but now we gotta wait.
when it started to rain, we were like, this day could literally not get any worse. We were like shuffling around trying to find cover. A few guys were actually nice enough to like allow us to like go in their car. I actually said no to getting in the car because they were actually subscribers of mine, and they said we could all like, you know, take cover in their car. But we were like with so many other people, there were so many other competitors, and I was like, if these guys are gonna get rained on, I'm gonna get rained on too, because it's like, it was so unfair and it felt wrong. So I just like stayed outside.
We found some cover because it just started to rain. That's the situation. Geordie is got a trophy.
Hi.
That actually fell on the ground and smashed.
Look, it's broken.
They are going to replace it because the arm fell off. That's like my arm compared to the other guy's arm on stage. That's his arm and that's my arm. The worst case scenario, we don't get to go back in, we don't get to do the routine, we don't leave with any placing or anything. That's worst case. We will see. Wow. Disappointing series of events. Alright, so we are back inside. Everyone is collecting together. This is the guy that could have potentially smashed. Look at the size of him. This is the guy that could have potentially smashed me on stage, but we'll see in a second when we do the routine. Can you pose? Have you got a routine?
Yeah.
I hope so. Otherwise I'm going to beat you.
How?
Because of the routine. You're bigger.
I can't speak English.
I'm saying good things.
Thank you.
Good things. Good things.
Thank you.
Makes me want to gain more muscle. Good luck. Look at that.
Oh.
Small guy. Noodle arms. He's like, I know I beat you. That's what he says. No, he didn't say that. But in his head, he's like, I destroy you.
Now we're back in and we're about to start again.
But eventually, after about 45 minutes out of the venue, the organisers said we could all go back in, which we did. I was able to do my routine and finish off the show. And these kind of things do happen in life, these kind of threats and stuff. And I'm very sympathetic, you know, to, you know, what if that actually happened? What if it was a real thing? Or what if it happened and nobody was warned and everyone was inside the venue? And I'm very grateful that that, like, you know, wasn't the case for us. We was able to be safe and, you know, continue on the show and showcase all the hard work that we had done over the past 20 weeks of dieting. And of course, when this happened, I was trying to ignore the, you know, the feeling of being disappointed, because I knew that I had to be very sensitive to this happening. When you have like put so much work into a single moment on stage and it's your very first ever pro card attempt and you feel like it's just being stripped away from you right in front of your eyes because of like some shitty circumstance, it was very saddening, it was very annoying. And when I was like delirious from no food and it started to rain, I was kind of just sat there on the floor being like, what the hell, like why is this happening right now? I saw a lot of people outside, they were just done, they were eating, they were like celebrating as if they were already finished, but like we knew we still had work to do and we still had to bring the package we'd been working for over the last 20 weeks to the stage. And that may have been the reason that we got a second, because maybe if I just pigged out and let my emotions get to me, I might have got a third. I might have been judged on my posing, my midsection may not have been as tight, and we may have got a worse placing, but I'm very happy with the one that we did get. Now we continue on the off season, we get nice and fluffy, we grow a fat off-season beard, and we spend the next year growing. With that being said, I'm going to end this video here because Geordie is still asleep and it's about 9 o'clock right now. We're gonna make some breakfast, head to the gym, and start this third wonderful day in Madrid. We're here for a total of 4 days, so this is the second last day, and then on Monday, we're actually flying from Madrid to a place that it was meant to be a surprise, but I let it slip out yesterday. I have, for Geordie's birthday, considering for Geordie's birthday that was on the 20th of May, we couldn't actually celebrate it considering we was on prep and we was in Canada, and the entire country while we was on prep was on like a stay-at-home order, so everything was closed. For her birthday, I booked us a 4-day getaway, little trip to Santorini, Greece. Santorini is apparently an absolutely beautiful place, so after Madrid, that is where we're going to be going. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end this video here. If you enjoyed it, smash a like. If you haven't already, turn on post notifications, because 1, it helps the channel grow, and 2, you will never miss a future video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.